Heartbeat in my mind racing up. You can hear the screams and sirens in the curb. I did travel. See a couple, got a trouble. That's why I got the 9 in my pocket for. Gotta drop him before he kicking down the door. For some Christian Dior. We was about to send 100 packs through your neighborhood. If you could trap, I knew my baby would. I never knew I would have to face the music. I know they gon' bum rush us. We gotta keep on moving. I got introduced to slanging and I keep on choosing it. I see the helicopters moving in. I thought if you took a loss, you just lose to win. Crawling on the...
So what is good, YouTube? It's your boy LegendaryEA. We back here for another episode of the Hawk series. If you guys have enjoyed this series, make sure you go ahead and like it up and, of course, subscribe. The last one, we played a little game against the Wizards. You guys already know what we're looking at, how the team is looking like. We know that Trae Young is phenomenal. Regardless, man, today we're going to be scouting, and in the next episode, we'll be doing the entire offseason. But yeah, let's get straight into it, man. Like I said, like it up. Let's aim for like 80 likes. So yeah, just share it, turn on your notifications, and of course, on this channel, we do the rebuilds, this series, the Spurs series, and NBA videos as well. I might even do an NFL video if you guys are really messing with it. Regardless, man, you guys already know we are horrible. We're actually trash. We're 31-43, and we're looking at getting... See, we went on a mini winning streak. We were taking so many L's, and all of a sudden we started winning games. So we're now looking at like the 11th pick, which really sucks for us. But we all know that Trae Young is phenomenal. I would say the biggest issues on this team, the weaknesses, is definitely shooting guard. Shooting guard is our biggest weakness, and I mean, I'll say this: only 3 positions on this team are locked: point guard, power forward, and center. Because these guys are the guys that have been killing it. I like DeAndre Hunter, but he seems like he's going to end up being a utility player, probably in the future to come off of the bench. Cam Reddish, next season, I would like him to be our backup shooting guard. Because I still think that even though Kevin Huerter, however you say his name, I know I'm butchering it, his potential isn't inside. And Jordan Clarkson probably won't even be on the team. It really just depends on how we actually want to do things. But in this episode, I'm going to take you guys through some free agents that we're going to be targeting. Through the scouting, all of that good stuff, players that we need. And like I said before, the only positions that are safe are point guard for sure, power forward, and center. But yeah, point guard and center for sure. They aren't going anywhere. But yeah, John Collins is pretty much untouchable as well. But let's get straight into it, man. Let's start off with the scouting because that's what you guys are here for. So in the mock drafts, they got us taking Scotty Lewis again, and I'm not getting Isaiah Todd because that actually makes no sense for us. But this is my draft board. My draft board has been Terrance Clarke, Josh Christopher, Jacob, BJ Boston, Brandon Boston Jr., and Scotty Lewis, like they said before. So let's take it through. I mean, the number one player is one of these guys, and Jalen Green would be the best player to actually get. The only reason why I'm not looking at Jalen Green is because I've gotten him in 2 other series. I'm not doing that again. Like, he's a very good player, but I do want to switch it up with the kind of players that I actually get. But yeah, Jalen Green would be a great player to have, but let's look at some of the guys that they want us to actually look at. So starting this thing off, we can actually take a look at Jalen Johnson because I think he's solid as well. And if he falls, I mean, why not? He can play shooting guard for us. He's 6'9". His ceiling is an all-star. Floor is Batum, and Batum isn't horrible, but I would like him to be an all-star, to be real with you. His body control is solid. It would make adjustments on the fly. Really good finisher. Powers through contact, which is really great. He's a natural playmaker. And you guys know, every team that I build, I love interchangeable parts and ball movement. So the most guys that can pass the ball and make plays and play make, I love that because that's how winning basketball works. Weaknesses: he's a horrible rebounder. He's not good in the low post. He's fragile because he's not that strong. No problems as far as his medical stuff goes. In college, at Duke, 28 points a game. Solid shooter. B+3. Now, the scouting is a little bit off, but we actually got a pretty decent scout. Personality is laid back. Offense is a B-. Defense is not the best. Draft rank is 6, though. Yeah, his perimeter defense does need some work. see, what kind of badges does he have? Acrobat Showtime. He takes over every once in a while. Shooting, tireless shooter, and Deadeye do be coming in very useful. He got Dimer and Floor General. Handles for days. Space Creator, which is pretty good. He's confident, has a good work ethic. That was the stuff that I love to actually see. Now, heading over to Terrance Clarke. Okay, I can already say, like, Terrance Clarke is probably the better prospect, which makes sense. His ceiling is also an all-star. I don't really know who Dale Ellis is, but Alec Burks, he ain't trash, but once again, I want the all-star. Body control is solid, the same thing as before. Defenders bounce off him, throws down with authority. Can be very useful right away in the right system. Poor passer, fragile, bad defensive anticipation. Those are bad signs, but all I can see is he's a good scorer. And, I mean, he is a higher rated prospect, but I do got to say, like, I do like guys who are able to pass, like I said before. And if he's only a good scorer, that is going to eventually become a problem. He has solid perimeter defense. Like, his defense on the perimeter, like, that's literally it. Low post is going to be bad. But he's a better offensive player. 7th ranking. He's a good shooter, good scorer in general. Really athletic. Now, off the back, I see the Alpha Dog badge, which is insane. Also got Showtime Lob City Finisher. Clutch shooter, Deadeye, difficult shots, ice in his veins. Volume shooter, handles for days, ankle breaker, quick first step. And you got the Alpha Dog, like high work ethic, confident. That's pretty good as well. Like, we're not going to act like that's bad. We also scouted Macho Maker. I'm not going to really look at him. We're not going to be drafting him. Scotty Lewis. Now, this is the guy that they want us to actually play. Now, I just saw one badge there, but let's get back to everything else. His ceiling is a starter. I don't think that's really good. His overall, this thing is a 74, so I don't really want to draft him, to be real with you, but he can get shots off without actions being run for him. All right, very skilled mid-range scorer. Poor playmaker, which is not good. Like I said before, he's a solid shooter, solid playmaker. Defense is alright. He's a really solid player. Like, he's the definition of a great role player to have on a championship team. So I can see why they like him. Off the back, I see his badge is team player, which means he don't even care about scoring a lot. He cares about his team winning, which is a really, really good sign. He's ranked 13th in the draft. Acrobat, did difficult shots. Playmaking is ankle breaker, quick first step, clamps. Put them clamps on you. I like to see that. Like, I really, really do. So let's look at who else is next. All right, so Brandon Boston. He plays for Sierra Canyon, if you guys don't know. What are they saying about him? He always got the team player badge. But he's an all-star. Knows how to distribute the ball to his teammates. Good anticipation, can force turnovers, create his own shot at the next level. His only problem is he has a slim frame. This could be a guy, if everybody else is gone, we could draft. He's at a 77 overall. He's a shooting guard, which is what we need. He can shoot. He's an A defender on the perimeter because he's a shooting guard, obviously. He is slightly below athleticism-wise for his position, but we can send him to camp. Has good potential. He doesn't have the Alpha Dog badge, but we already have a lot of alphas on this team anyways. So, I mean, we gonna see. We're going to have so many options whenever that time comes, and I guess the last player that we'll look at here is my number 2 guy is Josh Christopher, because I know in real life, he's actually, like, insanely good. But they're saying he's a starter, has the potential to develop into something special. Pretty good at holding onto the ball while attacking, finishes his own shot. Really good finisher, powers to contact. Poor passer, not a playmaker. Yikes. Slim frame. He shot well at Kentucky. Good shooter. They're saying his playmaking is awful. They're saying it's awful. Perimeter defense is at a B+, which is above average. No, he's pretty athletic. Potential's alright. Dang, they didn't give him any really good badges. Like, he catch and shoot. So, I mean, we'll see who's there. I mean, that scouting definitely is putting me on to something that I'm not really, feeling all around. But, I mean, I think that's pretty good as far as the draft goes in our scouting. Let me know who you guys think that we should be scouting in the comment section below. But, yeah. The only reason why I'm going off of, like, their high school rankings, and I know that in real life, Josh Christopher is, like, that man is really, really cold. But, yeah, I guess my top 3 is still going to be Clarke, Boston, and Christopher. So it's really whoever falls source and whoever I feel can help us. Because I played with Josh Christopher a little bit on my Knicks series, and he was really, really good. But, I mean, other than that, let's look at some of the upcoming free agents. So we can go straight to positions because we already know that we're not going to be getting Luka. I don't think that we could get Paul George. Paul George, he don't seem like the Atlanta kind of guy. And him and PG normally leave in 2K, but Kawhi don't seem like he would be messing with Atlanta. But you know who does? Paul George looked like he likes to have a party and go to clubs and do all that stuff. So think of PG pulling up on the squad, bro. We know that the Hawks are trying to win games. I know that they just took DeAndre Hunter. Once again, great utility player. But if the option or the chance is there to get Paul George, I will take it. Because Paul George, him and Kawhi on the Clippers, they've been all right. But if they don't win a championship and they're leaving, who am I to not offer Paul George? Anybody would offer Paul George. So we'll definitely take a shot at him, and I think it's not crazy for him to even want to come here. Like, I don't think it's all that crazy. Then, of course, our boy Trae Young. Mitchell will be matched. Same thing with Ja. I mean, we can offer Tatum. Of course, I'm going to offer Tatum. The Celtics more than likely are going to match that. Like, that's just what's going to happen. And I do want to play him at small forward, obviously. His overall's going to go up anyways if I do that. So, he's a great scorer. He's a great defender. And he brings everything. The only thing that all these guys are going to do, they will take away from Trae Young's points per game. But if we're winning games, and Trae Young's still putting up about like 26, 25, and we're winning games because he's still going to be the guy with all these guys there. His PG's overall probably will drop down a little bit. We still win. And that's the whole goal of this entire thing. I don't see us going after De'Aaron Fox. That don't really help us that much. Victor Oladipo is an interesting player because he can defend. He does everything well. And he'd be a great number 2 to have. He's an 88 overall. I mean, we can look at him. I mean, the Pacers are actually solid, if I remember. Or they're about to miss the playoffs. And I don't think that's too crazy. If they don't offer him enough money, once again, he's somebody that I can see coming here. So far, I've only seen 3 out of all these top players. That's PG, Tatum, and Oladipo. Not going after Gobert or Aiden. Devontae Graham, we already have a point guard, and he's not big enough to even play shooting guard. We're bringing back John Collins. I mean, other than that, we can work on the bench a little bit. And some of the other guys, some of the bench guys, I guess. I mean, there are a few veterans that I wouldn't mind to bring in. Like, if Vince don't retire, I bring him back. Same thing with Kyle Korver. Who else? I mean, that's really about it. Maybe Rudy Gay, Lou Will. Because even though we're a bad team, nobody in the league can say that we don't got insane potential. I mean, does Trae Young still got it? I remember he had like a 50-point game. Book passed it? Oh, man, Book really passed it. All right, well, he still had himself an insane game. Right now, he's second in the league in scoring. Like, his potential, and then you see James Wiseman. A lot of guys will definitely want to play here. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little boring. We're just talking about some of our future plans for this team. The next one will be the NBA offseason. Like I said, those are the guys that we are targeting in the draft and in free agency. Who knows? We might end up with a crazy pick. Shoot up to number 1. That can possibly happen. And we have the 27th pick as well. Antoine, I don't really know about that. Regardless, man, we got a lot of options for this team. Let me know y'all's thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace, y'all.